Dangerous Man was the first song I recorded here at Wholehearted Productions. I had this vision for what I wanted my music to sound like, but I'd never performed with a full band before, and I didn't really know what was possible. So I had this idea that I would make this rockabilly song, and that's what ended up being Dangerous Man. It's kind of been a trope for me that I love people's eyes. That's one of the first things I notice about somebody who I find attractive. I think eyes are a connection point between people, and it's that old adage that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So this song is about that moment when you lock eyes with someone and you're hoping what they're saying is true. In my mind, I think of this song as the sexy song of the album, which makes me laugh because I've been a performer all my life, and so I think sometimes people have this idea of you that because you can get up on stage and have a sexy kind of persona, that means that's who you are when you're off stage. And that's really not been true for me. I think a lot of women battle with their own sense of self and identity as far as their sexuality is concerned, because there's this whole idea that, well, if you dress a certain way, that makes you a certain type of girl. But if you cover up those parts of yourself, you're not being true to yourself either. So I've been learning and exploring this side of me too, learning how to express my sexuality in a healthy way. And this was really brought about by meeting a guy who made me feel safe to express my sexuality. There's all this talk of the Me Too movement, the guys that aren't doing it right. And I think that we also need to celebrate the guys that are doing it right, that are making us feel safe and beautiful and comfortable in our own skin. So I think this song is a little bit of a celebration of that. I just think falling in love is this roller coaster of emotions. At least for me, it has been. And this is kind of the bottom end of the roller coaster. This is when you feel like that person is going to go away and they're never going to come back, and you're going to just be left standing there at the train tracks wondering what to do. This song, I think the vibe of it is really influenced by some Johnny Cash music, especially the early Johnny Cash music. I just don't think you can be a rockabilly artist unless you have a song that has a cowboy, a train, and the word lonesome in it. And so I decided to write a song that had all three. So this is my signature rockabilly song with the cowboy. This one came about kind of with a conversation between me and a friend of mine, and I pretty much took words, word for word, right out of her mouth and wrote this song kind of as a joke, but then we realized that it was actually pretty good. It's probably the most hillbilly kind of song that I've written. It's about that moment when you look at somebody and you just think, you are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and if I die right here and now, I will be happy. A few of my friends have said to me recently, Amanda, you're just somebody who feels your emotions completely. Like, you feel the whole spectrum of emotions, and you experience life in this very intense way. And so I feel like this song is a little bit of a manifestation of that, of, when I am happy, it's like happy to the point of explosion. And that's kind of what this song is. This song is probably the most special to me. It means the most to me of the entire album. I wrote this song because I had somebody say to me that I'm timeless. And that had a really deep effect on me. It made me feel like I was really seen by someone for the first time, maybe ever, in that deep of a way. And so I decided to write this song about that feeling, about this person who looked at me and really saw, I think seeing somebody's timelessness is saying, I see the deepest essence of who you are, the part of you that doesn't die, the soul, really. And so I feel like that's what this whole album is about. It's how do two people fall in love with who each other really is. And that is a process of ups and downs and all arounds. But really what I've been learning in the past few years is just how to love someone unconditionally. Say, you right here as you are, I love you as you are. And that to me is what this person did for me when they said, you're timeless. I think there's a pretty rampant feeling going around that a lot of men are told their whole life, or they learn in some way, that men hurt women. So no matter what I do, I'm going to let you down, or no matter what I do, I'm going to hurt you. And for me, I'd been living in this kind of victim mentality, this feeling of, well, you know, guys are always going to disappoint me, and no one's going to ever see me for who I really am. And then I met a man who didn't hurt me, who didn't let me down. And it kind of changed, well, it completely changed my entire life. And this song is that story of a girl and a guy who are able to show up for each other in a way maybe nobody else has been able to for them before. This story is one about bravery and vulnerability and stepping out and saying, the whole world can think we're crazy weirdos, but I love you anyway. I've never really been able to love halfway, so when I decide I'm there, it's all in. It's always been very high stakes for me. And this song, the funny thing about it is that it's kind of a sweet song. It's kind of mellow, it's easy to listen to, I think, but what's underneath all of that is this connection that I had with another person that's really, really profound.